talking about Manchester United. For Man U fans, you might need your Panadol kichwa ikianza season ikianza. Tumeanza mapema. Put down maka kidogo. I know it's a friendly game, lakini mashida zimeanza. But let's start with the positives first. Okay, there's no positive. You didn't win. But let's start with the positives, Sammy.
The positives from a national perspective?
No.
Because, okay.
Ongelea mashida zako kwanza. Wachana na mashida ya.
The negatives.
Siangalie kwa jirani.
Mbona unaangalia kwa jirani? Anza na nyumba yako.
Okay, so our first tour of the US, our first game in the US tour. And we get 2 big injuries. Hoyland
and start with the positives. What did you
the positives? The positives I'm taking from that game is I like this year's Mason Mount than last season's.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've seen a sharper Mason Mount just based on how he's commanding the center of the park, how he's distributing passes, creating opportunities, moving back on defense. I think that's a better Mason Mount that, Ten Hag would actually think about even slotting into his starting 11 next season. And that's why I thought that last time out when we were having this kind of rumors that were, connecting him with different clubs outside Manchester United was somehow wrong, because Mason Mount really didn't have any time at Manchester United last season. He was injured for much of it. So to see a Mason Mount that is fitter right now, that is more decisive, that is more commanding in midfield, I think that's a plus for Manchester United.
Ten Hag also talked about him before the game, and he was like, guys, don't judge Mason Mount, because it's a new season. He was injury-ridden, and this is part of a new campaign, so let's back him fast.
Yeah.
And he can come good because he's versatile, can play different positions.
Yeah.
And that's a very good attribute when it comes to modern football. So what sort of season do you think Mason Mount is going to have?
First of all, I expect...
And how will he be used in the season?
So first of all, I expect him to be fitter last season, so no much time on the bench. I expect him to back 11. Now that's going to be on Ten Hag, on whether he wants to play with him and Bruno Fernandes together, and that will mean our young guy Kobe Mainoo is going to be dropped to the bench, or Scott McTominay.
I think Kobe is starting. He's a starter.
So Kobe
right
starts then
and
plays alongside Mason Mount.
Alongside you're going to play Mason Mount in the number 8 position.
Yeah, you'd rather take that over
Manchester
Casemiro.
United.
I'd rather take that over Casemiro. The option that we have right now.
I mean, you can start Casemiro and Kobe as you build on into the season. Of course, you're going to do the rotation because Casemiro, his legs are gone.
Yes.
But I'm not too convinced with Mason Mount playing number 8. He can be used sparingly in that position. Mm-hmm. But up front, that's where I think he'll be used wing, number 10-ish, thereabout. Maybe Fernandes plays that number 8 position.
Okay, Ju, the feeling you have now is Bruno Fernandes has not yet attended camp.
Mm-hmm.
From the get-go, you're going to have Mason Mount starting in that first game, the Charity Shield Cup. He's going to start. Maybe he's going to start in that Bruno Fernandes position. So maybe he's on pole position right now to get a good start. And maybe cause a headache for Ten Hag in that position. So a fitter Mason Mount is what I expect, first of all.
Okay.
So if he does that, then find your way into the starting 11, whichever way you wanted to put it.
All right, let's go to the negatives now.
No, another positive though.
Yeah.
I like Amad Diallo's performances in the last few games. I know we have been having this problem of a right winger most of the times, and Amad Diallo had a good performance against Rangers when he scored in that game. And then yesterday also, looking at the reviews that he's had in the first half, he played a good game. And Anthony didn't have a good second half when he came on. So I think Amad Diallo right now, based on those performances, you can somehow even start for Manchester United on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
Those are the only positives that I draw from that performance or the few preseason games that you've had. And Onana not conceding a lot and him looking composed in defense. So him make a trick yesterday. We are good. We are good there in the goalkeeping, so no problems about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are the negatives? Of course, the 2 injuries have to come to the fore.
Yes. That's the huge concern now. Because you're coming back from a season where we had so many injuries that we somehow gave Erik ten Hag a pass based on the decimation that happened in the squad. So in preseason, the before 3 weeks before the season begins, and you've got an injury to a player that you just signed, and hopefully you expected him to start in defense. Lenny Yoro getting injured and hooked off, that's a huge concern. Same case with Hoyland. Well, you might argue that now with Joshua Zirkzee, you have an option from the bench, but he's a guy that you saw him sparkle last season, and you expect him to take a big leap this season, and he gets injured also. So those two, I'm not sure about the extent of them, because they were playing on artificial grass yesterday. I don't a good start for United to head into a new season with two important players injured. That's not the way to start a season. So I'm pretty much concerned about that. Yes.
So is it the way the team is not being trained well? Do you think the team is not being prepared adequately? That's why we have these injury issues.
You have to ask that question, because now it is the second season running that has happened. And Ten Hag always tries to put up warning signs, because he talked about it and he says that it's going to be a race for the fittest before we played Arsenal. And you somehow feel like he's already pointing towards either the players are tired or my regime is different. So that has got to come into question. But I believe with this kind of coaching department that is brought in, which is new, maybe there are new strategies that they are putting in place. And you can see it in attack, in the way the team is moving forward, that there are changes in there. But on the tracing, on the regimen that he's having, that has got to come into question.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Teddy, your Man City lost to AC Milan. Should we?
Yeah.
Should we? Or is Pep losing his psyche, or just a normal?
Come on, guys. It's pre-season.
Nah, I'm just asking.
Nah, really. I wouldn't read too much into it, because we only have maybe 3 squad starters in this team, and from what I saw, I'm kind of really excited about one single player. That's in Oscar Bob. I think he's being groomed to be the next replacement for Oscar Bob. For Cole Palmer. Sorry, guys. Sorry. And
mnapiga unaanza kuchanganyikiwa.
No. The point is this. I think since Cole Palmer left City, I think City realized that he was a gem, because looking at his performances at Chelsea, they realized that this was a gem and they shouldn't have let go of him. So looking at how Cole Palmer looking at how Oscar Bob has performed, I think he's the next big thing in terms of how he's able to play. He's a versatile player as well, because he can play on the wing, he can play in the small pockets, he can play whatever position in the forward areas, and I can see that he knows how to link up with the other players. So it's a good thing. I wouldn't read too much into these preseason games, because they don't really replicate. So much as even United lost that game to you guys today, I wouldn't read too much into it. Of course, you as a coach, you'd want to look into the nitty-gritties of what you can really improve on your players as well, but I wouldn't read too much into it.
All right. Arsenal, I'm not going to talk too much about the friendly, because I didn't watch the friendly and I don't watch friendlies, but I like I like watching the friendlies sometimes when I get time, just to see the young players. For me, it's about the young players, because we already know about the senior players, what they can offer, what they bring to the table. Yeah. But when you see the youngsters, so today morning we did have Salah. We also have our own Salah, the reincarnation of Salah, hopefully. And there's a defender called Heaven, and of course the Ethan Nwaneri, and Ethan gave an assist, so that's good. Salah also played well. I've seen good positive comments about him. And Heaven, although he was at fault for the first goal, but after that, Arteta praised him, his composure, his ability to continue in a good performance despite having that slight setback. So it's not too bad from the youngsters, but I'm not too convinced that we can go into the new season pegging our hopes on them being squad players.
Okay. But you still got a good bench, right?
No, we don't have a good bench. That was the biggest issue that we did have last time. Last season, we overplayed Odegaard, we overplayed Saliba, we overplayed Gabriel Magalhaes, we overplayed Rice. because we couldn't rotate them. Even Saka was playing with injuries, and when he should have rested, he couldn't have rested. Havertz also, he should have been rotated, but we couldn't rotate because we have a lean squad, and I think we can't. If you really want to go for the league, we have to go into the market and get good players.
Which positions, which department do you think it's the one that could change your season?
We're going to talk about the transfers in the next link.
Because I'm asking this question, okay, I'm not getting too carried away, but Gabriel Jesus looks more sharper than he was last season.
Yeah,
I know it's
yeah.
pre-season and he did that last time out, but this time out he's come out of the gun really blazing. And Mikel Arteta talked about his performance. So I get the discussion that people as central strike, but if you've got Gabriel deliver at some point, and then you've got Kai Havertz that you can place in that, it's not of a concern.